Hello everyone, welcome back to Girls Duo Cup. I am Weave, joined here by the wonderful Peachy, sorry. And I almost said Pinky. That's not who you are. You're not Pinky. It is, we're back with, we're gonna be seeing, I believe this is semifinals, and, so we've got a wonderful match for that. We've got Pepega Fan Club versus 2-0 Jisha, starting off on Clam Scorch Gorge. Now, it is best of 5 now, so we are gonna be seeing a little bit longer game, or a little bit longer sets, just to make it a little bit more even and see how these things go.
Yeah, Clam Scorch starting off is a bit of a rough one. I mean, I wouldn't call it a steamroll map, but it's definitely like stally, so this ought to be an interesting first game.
I don't know. I'm personally a pretty big fan that there is that one flank route that people can use. It's not the greatest, but it's also mid is pretty interesting to see how fights go out, and it's very similar to Inkblot mid in my opinion, because of that, or like at least on zones. On Inkblot zones, it's interesting. I'm quite a fan. Once you get past that checkpoint, you can get some really interesting clams pushes. It's not like there's a lot of variety. It's not entirely stally, but it's not super easy to come in either. And so we are gonna see, I believe, an Inkbrush over here, and Tetras, as well as Tetras from, or not Tetras, that is going to be a Nautilus from the side of 2-0 Jisha, as well as a Splatana Sniper and a Carbon Deco.
Yeah, both of these comps here are, like, super interesting. I like the Carbon pick. Carbon here could be a monster, but the Dark Tetra Dollies are really interesting as well.
For sure. But yeah, that's a very, very fast comp here from the side of Pepega Fan Club.
Oh yeah.
Already, they are proving how fast it can be. Gorge getting a full wipeout. That's going to be tossing clams and trying to juggle them around. Already getting a full ball ready, and that is going to be their first push all the way started. Stalling no more, beating the Stally allegations, because yeah, this is going, and it's showing no signs of stopping. However, they do have to get more clams to come back in here and keep it going. The crafting is going to really put some issues in that as well, and they are starting to back off. Not even. That's just more. Just keep on going.
Fan Club is bringing some serious heat to the table. Getting a 0 to 33 push is super good for this map, and getting another wipeout. These guys are not backing down whatsoever.
Not at all, and it just keeps on going. As soon as this basket opens again, as soon as a little buffer time is over, they're already getting more pushes going, and going back and getting more clams, and just maintaining advantage. Ballpoint getting that beautiful jet out and applying so much pressure for Callie to go in and to capitalize on that, and then another double. It seems like 2-0 Jisha just cannot stay alive in the face of all of this. They're pushing up so far. Reslider are going to go in with those Tetras. Trapsters are going to be coming back with plenty of plans, and I believe if they don't, get it done, this isn't going to be enough to break it out, and that's going to be a KO. What in God's name was that game?
I don't really have a lot of words for it. I mean, Fan Club's just able to kind of show their domination on the field. I mean, the constant pressure, the, like, really good clan management, the timing, everything about them is really good. For
sure, and yeah, the picks just kept going. They did not stop getting picks, and they knew when to push up and they knew when to back out. Insane. And so 2-0 Jisha is put in a really good spot here as they go forward. Or what? No, they're gonna have to start thinking of counter picks. That's what I meant to say. My brain went on autopilot. Yeah, they're gonna have to start thinking of counter picks. Something that can stop that super aggressive style that Pepega Fan Club is bringing to the table.
Now, I'm just curious what Jisha is gonna respond with the counter pick. I don't think they're gonna pick a steamroll heavy map, because Fan Club would just be able to, well, steamroll, but maybe a little more stally of a map. Maybe, I'm not sure. This one's kind of up in the air. I can't really think about what'd be best. But Zun's, Barnacle, and Dime, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but that does have the potential for them to be able to respond, especially if 5th stays on that Nautilus. I feel like that's a pretty good weapon there. However, the Pepega Fan Club is running the ballpoint, which I feel like can really do well here. The Jets can help push in a lot. I don't know. It's looking really, really good for Pepega Fan Club as we go in here. It's especially with just how dominant they were. If these two, I feel like Clam Scorch and Barnacle and Dime kind of run the same. If you get past that first point, like you can really push in super well and not let go. And I feel like that could be a very similar situation here.
Yeah, I mean, unlike let's say Flounder zones, right? Once you're not really ever walled out on this one, you're able to take a lot of alternate routes to try to retake the zone. So it's gonna be an interesting game here.
For sure. And we see Fifth, instead of going on that Nautilus, instead go on some vanilla dualies here. Bringing out that crab for a little bit more, you know, consistent special pressure here. While it looks like Pepega Fan Club took a note from their book and is opting, instead of that ballpoint, to run a Nautilus, which is going to be super interesting to see here. A little bit more, some pretty good zones usage here. And so, Jisha does open out with a much stronger start than last time. They haven't gone down yet. They're bringing out the crab, they're bringing out the Tri-Strikes, and they've already pushed it down to 85. And they are getting pushes, picks on the enemy team as well, so definitely a much better start than last time.
Yeah, they're finally starting to know that that brush right there needs to be taken care of and to do anything, because that brush will get behind them in a flash and start getting picks left and right.
For sure, for sure. And the Zuka's coming out and fishing for picks, not quite able to get them. However, Pepega Fan Club, the Tetras over here are going to be able to go in with that Reef Slider. Going to be trying to get a little bit of neutralization on the zone, not quite able to find it. And just in general, they're doing such a fantastic job at keeping hold. They are 2 down still, and looks like the zone is going to go in their favor, though.
Yeah, this is not as one-sided as we saw last game. We see Jisha able to take a really strong start. And even though they're kind of backed off, all they have to do here is just kind of regroup like they just did and start taking more space back.
For sure. Yeah. It's, like, the rebound there was so strong compared to last time, too, as well. Maybe just Scorch was just probably their bad map, but right now we are going to be seeing this reset getting close to come out. The crab gets cancelled right as it gets popped, which is huge for Pepega Fan Club here. The, penalty timer is almost done, which is potentially an issue, and but Jisha still has plenty of specials to keep going here. A Reef Slider going out and we trying to neutralize zone, but this isn't one of those maps where it works and the Tetris get immediately picked off. We have about 10 seconds here until this game becomes a KO.
Yeah, maybe this wasn't as cut and dry as we all first assumed, you know? Jisha with a really strong game here on Barnacle and Dime, able to take the victory, putting the set at 1-1.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see how how they continue on. Now the pressure is on what's it called? Pepega Fan Club to get a good counter pick in, because I mean they knew it would work. Apparently, that's exactly what you want to see out of a counter pick.
Yeah, that just kind of goes to show that maps can make all the difference on how a team can perform. I mean, sometimes you just got the worst map and you're just like, oh man, I play so bad on this map, we're probably gonna lose, but we at least get a counter pick so we can start taking games off via counters. So, you know, hopefully the side of Fan Club picks a map that's not only favorable to them, but something that Jisha can work for and start maybe taking that game.
Looks like Tower Control Hagglefish is what's on the menu next. Did we talk about Hagglefish at all earlier? I don't think we did. What are your thoughts?
Hagglefish. I mean, as a C-Jet player myself, having those, checkpoints where not only toxicness can reach, but really anybody can take it, because you have to watch your little plat area, and you gotta watch down and drop. You know, there's so many opportunities here for comebacks. There's so many opportunities for just kind of a big sweep. So it's a very balanced map, and I think this is a really good choice for Game 3.
Yeah, Tower Control is my least favorite game mode by far in this game, and this is a example of why, it's good until a certain point. It's good until you get to that those last few checkpoints, where it just becomes insanely hard to defend. You have that very thin strip of low ground, even with the walls, and to defend from, and so it just becomes really difficult. However, I believe that these teams are going to have what it takes to make this a very interesting one, that we do see the return of the ballpoint and the same aggressive comp we've seen, and I believe that's a very similar comp from 2-0 Jisha as well.
I think the bucket pick here on the side of Fan Club is really good, especially the new Folk Kit, because it has poking capabilities, but if they're not watching that Carbon and Stamper combo, it's going to be a pretty mean fight. For
sure. Alrighty, it's just a big, you know, traditional Hagglefish mid-fight here. We do see the Carbon flank around here on the Lush Ninja Squid, and going to be looking like they might get some picks here. Well, that's one, and that's going to be two, and that's going to be a full wipeout from 2-0 Jisha already, Moiroha being actually instrumental to there.
It's like I said,
pushing in, yeah.
That Carbon, if left unchecked, it's gonna be a monster and will get behind you in a flash and start taking picks. Same thing with that Brush, but they're able to kind of keep them at bay.
For sure. Already though, we are approaching this checkpoint, and then after this checkpoint, it's where I mentioned it just starts to get so snowballing, and luckily for pepega Fan Club, they did get the picks right before things started to get really hairy, and that is a full wipeout, and now they're going to have the chance to really respond as best as they can, because, you know, the map is free right now. All the control is there, they just have to figure out which spots to really try to focus on and taking.
Yeah, and your point was made about how hairy that checkpoint can be, because it was an instant swap of control from Jisha to Fan Club, just like that.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like we have some specials going out, or at least getting charged. We see the Crab Tank on the side, or like both of the dualies have their specials at the ready, and it's just a big fight here over on the left. Pepega Fan Club just get any control. They're trying to get the control area by where that first checkpoint is, and that is certainly good, but they do need to get the area immediately in front of the tower right before they can get even anything started and even think about getting that first checkpoint here. We do see the ballpoint come out here with that Inkjet and get a beautiful pick on the Stamper, and this the 2-down situation could mean a push is going to get started.
Yeah, Fan Club here is playing a really smart game. They took the fight back to mid. They're starting to win the fights as well. And hopefully they're able to take the second checkpoint here and start another, like, push and snowball.
Sure. Although we do see, yeah, it's just really hard for them to get a foothold here. Kind of similar to what we saw last time. They do clear that checkpoint, or looks like they almost clear it? I'm not quite sure.
Not quite.
Yeah, not even quite. Sad. Something stuck in my throat for a second. That was awkward.
You alright?
We just down on the side of 2-0 Jisha, and so pepega Fan Club is going to be starting to move forward. The Tetras are going to be kind of paving their way, starting some fights that hopefully one of their teammates is going to come up and help finish. They do, once again, touch the this checkpoint here, and it looks like they may even break it this time. Yep, there they go.
This could be a potential, like, lead shift here. I mean, with that first checkpoint down, it's not too long to go to get to that next one, but with 3 down on the side of Fan Club, Jisha's able to start pushing them back out and taking it for themselves again.
For sure. And so, yeah, that is 3 down on the side of 2-0 Jisha again. And so it's starting to get hairier and hairier. All they have to do is make it to that third checkpoint and hang on for just a little bit, and the lead is there. So just, you know, as they're starting to get picks, as they're just going to keep on going, just they're hoping to put 2-0 Jisha in as disadvantageous as a situation as possible. When Iroha gets a double like that, it's going to be pretty difficult. That's going to be a triple. Yeah, that was actually a crucial trade, crucial play, as Bridget here is going to be trying their best as they, you know, unfortunately jump on the tower at a very poor moment. Looks like mid is back to 2-0 Jisha.
Yeah, the Carbon's showing why it's such a good pick in the right hands. I mean, getting 3 down just shifted and stopped their push just like that. And it looked super easy, too. Like, made it look like it was a piece of cake.
Yeah. We see dualies versus Tri-Slasher action, in which the dualies do come out on top, and now Fifth is lying in wait for a some nice prey here, which is going to come in the form of the brush, which does get taken out in a trade. Nothing gained, nothing lost really there in terms of advantages. However, you know, as we go on, there's only about 30 seconds left in this game, and pepega Fan Club still has to get that lead back if they want to be the ones to win here. They do have specials to make it work. They have the Reef Slider, they have that jet, but it's going to take a lot of execution for them to get a nice push set up so that they don't have to worry too much in overtime, because overtime tower is incredibly stressful. If you take yourself off that tower for even a second, that's game over. And Iroha, once again, just coming out with catch plays. However, it's not going to be quite enough, and it looks like the pepega Fan Club is going to be launching themselves into overtime here. Despite the tri-strikes, they are going to be able to ride it out just a little bit longer. And we're going to see this big scrap on top. That's going to be a full wipe. That's going to be 2-0 Jisha taking the game once again.
Yeah, those strikes there were really well placed. Even though the ballpoint was able to kind of like dance around the tower, Jisha was just able to, you know, capitalize really well and get everybody out, getting the wipe and taking the game 3, you know?
Yeah, so once again, pepega Fan Club, they have one last chance to get a nice counter pick before they are out, and 2-0 Jisha is going to be proving on into finals here. So, Hagglefish tower control clearly did not work. What else do you think we could see from them that would maybe give them a chance at winning once again, making this not quite a complete blowout for them?
I mean, we've seen 3 of the game modes, so why not Rainmaker? I mean, I want to bet on Rainmaker. Because it's a potential snowball, just because of the mode itself, for both teams. So it's a pretty fair balance when you're playing that one. But I mean, I don't think that, I think actually Fan Club could possibly pick Clams there, just because they're insane showing on Clam Blitz in particular. So that's a possibility too.
Yeah, I think if there's anything they can return, it's going to be on Clam Blitz. Maybe something like Clam Blitz Museum, something that has kind of a similar game plan to Clam Blitz Scorch Gorge is what we could see. But even then, even if they do win that, they do have to win a game that is probably not going to be Clam Blitz, as you know, it's going to be 2-0 Jisha's counter pick at that point. I doubt that they do it if they got stomped by Clam Blitz twice, but we'll see what goes on.
And this next hand's going to be really interesting. Oh, but we see Tower again on Undertow. Very
interesting. Yeah. This isn't one that we see too often in tournament lists lately.
It does seem like Fan Club's very confident in Tower. Even though they lost the last one, that's their second counter pick, and it's Tower again. So it seems like they're very confident in their Tower play.
Yeah, they did make it really, really close last time, and so hopefully they can close the gap on it this time and bring us to a game 5, potentially. Same comps, it looks like, from them, and same comps from the other side as well. These teams know what they want, and they're pretty comfortable with it.
Now, the team comps are looking pretty sure the exact same on both, so not really any change of strategy. But I think Fan Club here needs to approach the game just a little bit differently, playing a little more careful around that Carbon Roller, because that Carbon Roller, I think, gave them the most trouble out of anybody.
Yeah, and the brush is already down, the ballpoint is already down. It's only the Tetras out there left to scrap and try to, make something happen all by themselves, getting them back up into the corner, actually doing a pretty good job of distracting the enemy team. And so now we're going to see really 2-0 Jisha just push ahead and get that crab in a nice pivotal spot. It's looking like it's going to be a fast one here if this continues on. They are 2 down though, and the ballpoint is going to be starting to put some pressure on this area. That's only left alive over there on that Stamper, and so it looks like that push might finally be over.
Getting past second checkpoint and under the first minute is such a massive push and such a major advantage. It's unreal. They have such a good chance here with that Carbon able to take out the Tetras, but finally going down. And the Rainmaker is just now getting back to mid, so it's not like Fan Club really has an advantage here, even with the numbers.
They do have that Reef Slider, but it's a Reef Slider. It's not a game-changing special. It's not one that you would necessarily play for. They are going to use it, and they are going to get 2 down, 3 down. This is their chance if they have one at all. And so that is going to be a delayed wipe. It's going to be 5th there on the dualies rebounding, and everyone's going to grab their drinks and go and hopefully get some picks and continue this lead here.
Yeah, Cooler here. Cooler right there especially is huge, because that's a potential lead shift just because you can constantly jump back in. You're a lot faster, and the enemy team can't really do much about it, but the brush going behind, can he get 2? Unfortunately, goes down to the Stamper.
Where did the brush even come for? It looks like that was a massive flank, which did pay off because getting that crowd out of the way was massive, and it looks like they may even break the checkpoint here. This is going to be a really scary spot for 2-0 Jisha here, as the lead is getting dangerously close to swapping, and there it is. Pepega Fan Club taking the lead once again, and if they can hold it and continue on this push, this could be even better for them.
Yeah, this brush, I mean, playing like the rat weapon it is, getting in there, doing things, and it's really impactful. That let them swap over the lead. It's not a major lead, but like a lead's a lead. It's all you need.
Like you said, a lead is a lead, and as long as they can hold it. But you know, for half the game, looks like. But it's starting to look scary for them once again. They're just starting to go down and down and down. The Tetris does get a pick, but it gets picked off from themselves before they can make anything too major happen. And 2-0 Jisha has all the specials to get through here, and that's going to be the lead swapped already with basically, you know, a single blink happened and that lead was gone. And that's kind of how meaningless things can be sometimes in terms of pushes. Like, you just have to keep on going and things like that will happen. But it's going to be, you know, starting to get staggering out from 2-0 Jisha. Only 5th left alive there on the dualies. Going to be forced to kind of back off, but it's going to hold the ground and get a trade for it in the meantime. However, it's still looking like it's trending towards the Pepega Fan Club starting to get mid-control back, and they only have a minute and a half to make their not one last stand, but they have to keep on going. They have to keep the pressure up. They cannot give up at this point.
Yeah, if they're gonna retake back lead here, they really gotta like stock up on specials and really start getting one down after the other. That's their only chance, along with getting that carbon out. Because the moment that carbon like gets anywhere near their back line, it's just kind of over from there.
For sure. That is going to be a nice pick going out from that tie special that is going to allow them to move in even more. Cooler, like you said, it's a pretty good spot for that, because now they can start to really push in aggressively and keep the pressure up through this pivotal choke point here on the left that can be really hard to get through sometimes. But now that that checkpoint is clear, it's just a little bit easier. Ballpoint's going to be standing on tower for right now, and they're going to be getting jumps in. However, bombs constantly going on tower is going to take that ballpoint out and prove it really hard. But they're so close to lead. However, I don't quite think that they're going to be able to make it. The Tetris, though, are going to be taking out on that jump that seems super dangerous. They are going to be able to stay behind and put out some pressure, and it's not quite over for them yet.
There's only about 30 seconds left on the clock here, and Fan Club does have the tower in their possession, in their base, so all they have to do is just kind of keep this heat up and try to take the lead as best as they possibly can.
Yeah. And so, they do have the specials for it, too. I'd imagine these Tri-Strikes and this Crab are going to be left to hold, because, you know, that's almost impossible to counter when you're in overtime, is the Tri-Strikes. We saw them last game, how important they were. And same with the Crab. If those two are combined, there is no way that the Pepega Fan Club, even though all 4 members are up, are going to be able to defend against that. And so, Iroha is over here, striking in a pivotal spot, is going to be able to just jump on tower and take it immediately, and going to be able to really defend it in the last few moments. There's no down tower, it's just Miyake, and that is going to be game.
That they had it right there. We were so close to seeing a game 5 here in the girls duo cup in semifinals. We were so close, but the carbon roller left unchecked once again was able to get 2 off the tower and just stop their push solo.
Yeah, for sure. And so that is going to be 2-0 Jisha making their way into finals, and Pepega Fan Club making it, I believe, going to be going into 3rd place match next off. However, yeah, they're going to be going against Quack, as Rat is going to be the other team that is going to be making it into finals. So you said the Rat was a team to watch out for, and you were definitely right in that assumption.
Yeah, even though we saw Quack the round before put up some really good games, Rat is just a force to be reckoned with. I mean, not dropping a game this entire tournament and sweeping through top 8 all the way to finals, this is going to be a really interesting set.
Yeah, but we are going to take a short break. My brain is mush as we wait for, you know, everyone to get into that lobby. We'll see y'all then.
Be back.